Crochet Christmas Tree Cookie Part 2, making the biscuit. Use brown sport weight yarn this time and a 3mm hook. Start off with a slip knot. For row 1, chain 2. Then for row 2, work into the second chain from the hook and then increase in the single crochet stitch and then turn. For row 3, single crochet 2 stitches, then chain 1 and turn. First one and then the second one. For row 4, increase in the next 2 stitches. The first increase and then the second increase, and then after that turn. For row 5, single crochet 4 stitches, then chain 1 and turn. So we are doing the first single crochet. Okay, let's try that again. The first single crochet, and then continue for another 3 more and then chain 1 and turn. For row 6, increase first and then single crochet 2, and then after that increase again and then turn. For row 7, single crochet 6 stitches. So this is the first, second, third, fourth, fifth, the sixth, and then chain 1 and turn. For row 8, increase first and then single crochet 4 and then increase again. Finish the 4 first and then increase again and then turn. For row 9, single crochet 8 stitches and then end off with a chain 1 and turn. So continue to single crochet 8 along the row. For row 10, increase first and then single crochet 6 stitches all along the row, and then we are finishing off the 6 single crochet stitches and then an increase at the end and then turn again. For row 11, single crochet 10 stitches and then let's do 2 and then 3 and then 4 and then 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, and then chain 1 and turn. For row 12, increase first and then single crochet 8 along the row, and then finally end off with an increase right at the end before turning. So as you can see, we are making a bigger and bigger triangle. For row 13, single crochet 12 and then turn. For row 13, single crochet 12 stitches and then turn. For row 14, we're doing something slightly different. We will do slip stitch 2 first and then single crochet 8 stitches and then turn. Later you will see that we are trying to narrow this part to make it look more like a Christmas tree. For row 15, single crochet 8, then chain 1 and turn. This is the narrow part that I was talking about. For row 16, increase first and then single crochet 6 in the middle part and then end off with an increase again. So here we will do single crochet 6 and then before we end off with the increase again once and then chain 1 and turn. For row 17, increase once and then single crochet 8 stitches and then increase again before chain 1 and turn at the end. For row 18, increase once and then single crochet 10 stitches before increase again and then turn. So here we are single crocheting the 10 stitches in the middle before ending off with the increase. For row 19, single crochet 14 stitches, then chain 1 and turn. For row 20, increase first and then single crochet 12 in the middle, like so over here in the middle. So single crochet 12, finish off with an increase at the end and then chain 1 and turn. For row 21, increase first and then single crochet 14 stitches in the middle. So we'll do 1, here we are finishing up the single crochet 14 stitches over here and then end off with an increase and then turn. For row 22, slip stitch 3 first and then single crochet 12 and then turn. So we're narrowing this spot like what we did previously. Continue to single crochet 12 in the middle here before turning at the end. For row 23, single crochet 12 and then end off with chain 1 and turn. For row 24, increase once and then single crochet 10 first, finishing off the single crochet 10 and then increase at the end before chain 1 and then turn. For row 25, increase once first, then single crochet 12. So we will proceed with single crochet 12 here first, and then we'll continue until we're ending single crochet 12 and then increase at the end and then turn. For row 26, start off with single crochet 16 stitches and then right at the end chain 1 and turn, finishing up the 16 single crochet stitches and then ending off soon. For row 27, increase first, then single crochet 14 stitches. finishing up the single crochet 14 stitches, and then ending off with an increase and then turn. For row 28, single crochet 18 stitches, then chain 1 and turn. So you can see the rows are getting longer and longer. For row 29, increase first, and then continue with single crochet 16. Finishing up the single crochet 16 stitches here, the last one, and then we do an increase before turning. For row 30, single crochet 20, and then chain 1 and turn. For row 31, increase first, and then single crochet 18 stitches all along the row. All along the row. So you can see the row is getting longer. We're finishing up the 18 stitches over here, and then after that at the end, an increase. We are almost finishing off. Then fasten and end off. You can see that one side of the biscuit is already done. So you can see how the white icing looks against the biscuit. So this is how the original one looks like, and that's the white version. Repeat another set of the same brown Christmas biscuit, which is basically a tree applique. With the second piece now together, keep the trailing yarn to continue crocheting. As you can see later, I'll be crocheting both pieces together. Insert the hook into the same corner in the other biscuit. Proceed to yarn over and single crochet both pieces together. Then insert into the next stitch and the corresponding stitch on the other piece, and then single crochet both pieces together again. Repeat this process all along the sides of both trees. When you reach the protruding parts at the side, which is basically the branch that is sticking out, similarly insert into both pieces at the same location, and then single crochet both pieces together again. Then continue to single crochet both pieces together all around the round. Now we are reaching the top of the tree and then we'll work around it as well. Then continue working along the other side by single crocheting both sides together. You can see that the sides of the tree have been crocheted together. Lastly, we are crocheting the bases together. So do note there's no stuffing involved, so it's completely flat. Here we are finishing up the base as well. The finishing touches here. You can see all along the sides are combined. off excess yarn. Tie off excess yarn as well. Remember to conceal in the ends. Conceal in all the ends for all the different parts. Place the white icing on top of the brown biscuit. Use a new set of white yarn and darning needle. Sew the top white piece onto the bottom brown piece. Use mattress stitches to sew both pieces together instead of using whip stitches. Continue to sew all around the edges of the white piece at regular intervals so that it's attached securely down. Tie off and cut excess yarn. Conceal in the ends. Now the idea is supposed to have an almost glued on appearance, which is what you want for this piece. Now for the detailing, use green and red yarn. Use the green yarn to make the lines as the streamers. Then use the red or the maroon yarn to make the baubles. Pull out the red yarn near the green lines. Proceed to make the French knots using the red yarn. You can see the final Christmas tree cookies done here. You can try it out in different color variations. Remember to check out the full pattern tutorial at pocketyarnings.com.